Hi Cancer, welcome to your weekly reading. I know I did a reading for you last week and I said that I would do one this week too, so here I am. So for those of you who have been following my channel, thank you, and thank you for your requests. And if this is your first time here, well, welcome. And I hope that as we come together to offer all of these messages that you can enjoy finding guidance as well as peace and tranquility. I feel like those are two energies that are very, very valuable in our lives. For those of you who want a personal reading, I am going to leave my information under the video. You know, I charge $1 a minute. I started to do that recently, and if you want, depending on the length of your reading, you know, we can set that up. So I will leave my email address underneath the video, and you can, you know, shoot me an email or send me an email. All right, Cancer, let's begin. So last week, I know the energies that came to represent your energy were the leopard, I believe, and the Jaguar was the person that, I think, was it the Jaguar or was it the, Jaguar last week, of the person that you were dealing with. This particular week, one of the aspects of the Fool, because in the center of the heart of your reading, you're being represented as the Fool. And that tells me that you've sort of come to terms with certain things in your life where you decided to start anew, to begin a new cycle, and kind of break away and release all of your path. But yet, if you notice, this Fool, instead of looking forward, you're kind of looking backwards. And in this particular situation, you know, this is where the energy of the octopus is representing you. Okay? So with the octopus, we are learning to understand the quality of multitasking. Okay? And we're kind of reflecting upon what do we do when we try to multitask. Okay? So with the octopus, this is an energy that is very, very powerful, because it's considered, this animal is considered to have the ability to move in the ocean in many different ways. You know, it can move on the surface of the water. Sorry about that, guys. Or it can move in the depth of the ocean. So it talks about flexibility, about gracefulness. Okay, so it's one of those ways that it tells us not to be too rigid sometimes, to be a little bit more flexible in situations that are not necessarily healthy or positive. But I feel like with this energy, it also talks about how sometimes we commit ourselves to do too many things at once. Okay? So it's like, you know, we think that we can handle too many things at once, and we ended up exhausting ourselves. So this also talks about, you know, saying no, or saying, you know, yes when it should be a no. Sometimes we tend to do that. You know, we tend to say, oh, yeah, I can do this. And then later we cannot. So that can show up, right? Or people can perceive us as then being wishy-washy, not being sure or certain about what we're doing. So the octopus here is talking, you know, a lot about different things in regards to you, your personality. And I feel like in this new beginning, you're sort of reflecting, or you're trying to understand what are the things that sometimes you do that put you in that place. Now, it's funny because the energy that is coming towards or is surrounding, the energy that is coming towards this Fool and the energy that is surrounding this Fool are three masculine energy. You have the Pentacle, King of Pentacles, you have the King of Cups, and the King of Swords. And this is where, it can be that you are surrounded by a lot of friends that are masculine, or you may have different suitors, right? But I think that it's more talking about different aspects of who you are. So in some ways, part of all of this, awareness that you're having is helping you recognize how you behave, especially when it comes to relationships. Because here we see the Lover's card. So in some ways, I think you're trying to find some answers about how you feel, but also what you do, right? And how we combine and how we reconcile our choices in regards to our emotions. And it relates to doing too many things at once. Because a lot of people, they love to multitask and they're very good at it. But let's face it, too much of that sometimes can scatter our energy. So if you are a multitasker, in order to be a good one, you have to also learn about your limitations. Knowing your limitations will allow you to know when to say yes and when to say no. It will also help you to get a better grip of all the different situations that come up your way. So I can see how during this cycle, you're still working through finding that clarity, and it's a very positive thing. Here the cards are all very positive. In comparison to the energy of the person that you're dealing with, oh my God, you're doing so much better. And this all relates to the, house of Taurus, second house of astrology, okay? And it's funny because Taurus is here talking. And this is about the things that we value. It's all of our resources, the personal resources that we have, but also the ones that we acquire. How do we use them? A lot of times this talks about our possessions, how we value our possessions. How do we value relationships? And one of the things, right, one of the aspects that it's dealing with the relationship part, it's the Lion. So the Lion is representing that part of you, right, or the part of this Fool. So you're choosing through the energy of the Lion to deal with or coming to terms with this relationship, this situation that you're having with somebody else here. And I believe this is the same person that came up last week. I really do. And with the Lion, which is another very powerful energy, because this talks about strength, this talks about authority, about, handling something, it's about justice, okay? We're trying to discern and figure out what it is that went wrong or what it is that happened. The Lion deals with the situation from a place of, our heart. And it's to bring the light, it's to bring the consciousness that would help us understand how we feel, and what are the knowledge or the information that we are going to incorporate to bring us the peace of mind. The Lion is also considered the alchemist, learning how to use the elements to our favor. And one of the secrets, right, that we can learn all of this wisdom is through silence. So here I can see that you're taking the time to do a lot of things in this particular cycle that is going to assist you to bring the level of clarity that you need in the path of the Fool, in this new path. And I could see how you still feel a connection with this person, right? Because when I clarify the Lovers, I can see that there's still an attraction or a connection to this person. But it's from a way of learning what is the lesson, what am I supposed to learn from all of this. Now it's interesting because this person, right, last week they came being represented with the energy of the Jaguar, and that Jaguar was not happy. Well, this week, they're not happy either. So in some ways, I feel like you're teaching the person, right, how to connect with their inner emotions so that they can finally address a lot of those traumas that they've had in the past. And the reason being is because here, they come with the wolf, a very wise soul. The wolf is, sacred in Native American medicine. And these are beings that have gone through a lot, and they've learned a lot from really shitty experiences. But they can adapt and they can learn from them. Jaguar is also the protector of the occult. So they keep consistently coming through as people that are quite wise. But yet this time around, the owl is coming upside down, and the owl is our ability to see through things. And I feel like because they are so emotionally challenged by this situation, and I would say more about the way they're feeling, you've triggered certain buttons here about their self-worth that is making them feel quite negative. I mean, look at the Eight of Swords. This talks about strength. So you've challenged them in many ways, but one of them is self-worth, where maybe they're feeling guilty or they're condemning themselves for once again letting themselves be vulnerable in a situation that they should have known better. So, there's some sort of guilt going on here where they're starting to, they're criticizing themselves and they're punishing themselves, like, I should have known better, like, I've gone through a lot and by now I should know better than to let somebody sweet talk me in this way. I mean, who knows what's going through their mind, but definitely is not positive. And that is making them feel guarded. Now, with the King of Swords here, this is not as bad as the energy of the Jaguar last week, but they're still there. As you could see, there's a lot of negativity going on with this king. So they haven't really put their guards down yet because they still feel like they were being taken advantage of. Something that you did, Cancer, to them is making them feel that way. Now, there may be some of you that are going to come across this reading is going to say, no, but that happened to me. You got the story wrong. And I'm going to say, well, I'm not reading for you then, because I am reading the cards as I see them, okay? Now, if you want to change the story to fit your situation, that's totally okay. But I'm picking up here a situation with a Cancer where something happened where you spread yourself thin that created a belief in this person that now is changed or it's changed over time. And they're feeling hurt. They're feeling taken advantage of, and now on the top of it, it has triggered a lot of the past experiences in other relationships with the Six of Cups, where now they're thinking, why would I do that to myself? But this is all part of their growing pains, right? This is part of their lesson. And thanks to you, you are helping them bring up to the surface all of this garbage that they may be carrying in their subconscious mind. While in your case, you're learning to say, well, maybe I do tend to please, people in moments where I shouldn't. Maybe I do have a tendency to say yes when I should be saying no. So what can I do to change that? because ultimately you are attracted to this person and you like what this person has to offer. And if for whatever reason there are some of you who have been thinking about reaching out or approaching this person sometime in the future, you better be ready. You better be ready and be clear about what you're willing to offer or about what you can offer. Because with this type of person, you can't continue to come back and just want to dip your toes in the water and not, commit. These are people that want commitment. They want serious commitment. And I'm going to say that maybe you do too. But, you got to deal with these energies in the right way. Because the octopus, okay, on the physical aspect, it can't show up as the trickster. Somebody who can, come across one way when it's another. Okay? It can camouflage itself to the point that sometimes you can be, you can have people that, pass by you, and if you don't want them to see you, they won't. I mean, that's one of the qualities of this, animal. But on the other hand, from a spiritual perspective, when the octopus comes in somebody's life, is there to help a person to connect with their shadow side and work with the shadow side. This is the animal that helps people to dive deep into the emotional subconscious mind and dig for shit. All right? Dig for things that normally people don't want to deal with. And that's one of the qualities of this octopus. Okay? So as you can see, there's aspects of it that are very beneficial and other ones are not. So you, as the full Cancer, you have to decide how you want to use these energies. But I will say that as I look here for the card, right, that can harmonize this situation is Uranus. And Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius. And we're talking here about revolutionary changes. So the energy would have to unfold in a way where two people are ready to take a chance and to make a decision that is completely opposite to what they're used to. And say, you know what, I have nothing to lose, I'm going to give it a shot. And come together and agree or make an agreement and where two people finally understand each other at many different levels, right? Because this is not just about communication. You guys had great communication while it lasted. It's about what I am willing to do this time around, and I want to demonstrate it. This person here, like I said, they're dealing with Jupiter, and Jupiter reigns 2 houses, but here I believe it's talking about the 9th house. And the 9th house describes that place where we want to change many of our life experiences and explore new possibilities. This talks about taking trips, far away and go to places where we normally don't go. And I feel like this is also in the emotional arena. Somebody here, right? The person that you're dealing with, Cancer, they're in that place where they are tired of recreating similar experience. And right now they're willing to go that extra mile to finally achieve a situation where it's totally different. Situations like they've had with you where they have moments where it was awesome, the connection was beautiful, and then it changed and it morphed into something else. These people are used to that. And they have a lot of scars from those experiences. So in some ways, you're helping them heal all at once. And once they reach that, once they regain their equilibrium, you rest assured this is a person that is willing to do whatever it takes to finally attract a person that is willing to explore with them, that type of relationship that everybody wants to achieve. Because they're ready. They're ready. Now, it's beautiful here, Cancer, because when I see the energies of the ancestors, you have the stargazers and the lady. And these are two very prosperous energy. This is like the emperor and the empress. And when this card comes out, we're talking here about achieving everything that we want to materialize. This is about, that job that you were looking for, getting it, about achieving wealth, achieving marriage. I mean, this is like the go-to card when you finally receive all of those, seeds, or, all of the flowers from the seeds that you've planted. And this here is about breaking through your limitations and finally realizing that you have everything that you need to achieve your goals. This is about knowing that you're an expression of source energy. And if you exist, it's because you matter. And all of your inspirations and your gifts are very much needed as part of the collective. So go after them. Isn't it amazing? It's like, what a beautiful energy. What a beautiful opportunity. And it's really all up to you. It's in your hands. But I like that although things are changing in your life, Cancer, that the energy feels very positive. I mean, you could see the difference between this and that, right? This poor person. I mean, it's not poor because, they set up to learn this lesson, just like you did. But they just, seem to be struggling a little bit more than you are. And maybe it's because you were ready, right? Maybe because you were at that point in your life where you also have gone through a lot and you're ready to say, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? Maybe I do. Maybe, I've gotten very used to behaving this way when I shouldn't. While this person, they're kind of getting a little bit impatient, a little bit ahead because they really thought, that, things were going to work out okay, and they didn't. And you got to remember that if you happen to be the person, Cancer, that stepped in this person's toes, well, my friends, imagine what would happen when somebody steps on yours, right? So we got to be a little bit compassionate here and understanding. And of course, if you're still here listening to this reading, by now, I'm imagining that you accept that, maybe you were not very clear, or maybe you gave up you gave out the wrong vibe towards this person, or maybe you were not sure because you were feeling somewhat insecure, and maybe you didn't think that you were capable of this person taking you so seriously. I mean, there's many maybes, right? Many possible alternatives. But all we know is that right now you're in that cycle where once again you're still working through, what do I need to learn? I need to have this level of clarity so I know what type of foundation to create. Because here's the King of Swords, right? Looking for clarity. Clarity of what to do. Do I have another opportunity? Do I want to give this person another opportunity? Maybe I do, or maybe I don't. But for that, I have to look at the situation. And I hope that your intentions, Cancer, are good. I really do, because with the octopus here, sometimes with the octopus, we can become a little bit manipulative. But because I see so many positive cards around it, I'm going to say that, no, I think you mean well. I'm going to put it that way. I really feel that you mean well. that you're really taking the time to take into account every situation and value it in a way that is going to bring this, opportunity that is coming your way. Because this is stargazer. It's like when you're in the verge of a miracle. I mean, it's that good. You're on the verge of a miracle. You're on the verge of achieving the things that you couldn't even think you'd be possible to achieve. It's that type of energy. So call me an optimistic Cancer. Maybe I am, but this is what I'm reading here. And maybe there are other areas in your life that you feel like, well, what about this? What about that? Well, I don't know. I'm just seeing here and translating what I see. And right now, I would say that yes, you are in this new beginning. You're in this new cycle. And as the Fool, take what counts, take what matters, and let go of the rest. Take a leap of faith. And that's what it's saying. Take a leap of faith. And I believe that if you use this lion vibration accordingly, this connection will be a really, really beautiful one. But you got to be ready and you got to be clear what your intentions are, because the only way that you can really overcome a lot of the, attitude of this person is, this is not just about talking, this is about demonstrating. All right, Cancer, this is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or you feel like there's confusion about something, let me know. I wish you the best of lucks, and maybe I'll be back next week reading you again. I said maybe, not for sure. But anyways, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing to my channel.